Let's see here. We got two questions. One's from, they're similar. Doug Shannon says, is there a case to be made for the Electoral College without winner-take-all states? Is the congressional district method better? Do swing states allow presidential candidates to campaign to only a small portion of the nation while ignoring the rest? And related to that, Jen Reinheimer wrote, it's been reported that Barbara Boxer will be proposing legislation to abolish the Electoral College. The mainstream media certainly won't present the constitutional argument opposing this legislation. Our schools have not educated our citizens about this issue. We keep hearing from the Democrats that Hillary won the popular vote. I fear that our electorate may be brainwashed to support Boxer's proposed bill. What to do? Now, somebody here can give me some... Again, the comment stream is just on fire tonight. The greatest moment of the debate, as Guatemalan Water Snake just pointed out, the greatest moment of the campaign, and I think the essence of why Trump won was when Clinton was it second debate or third debate, where Clinton was saying, let me just say this, when I think about how important the law is, you, Hillary, please. When I think about how important the law is, and when I think about Donald Trump's when I think about Donald Trump's personality and so on, I just think it's great that we should. I don't think we should trust him with basically, being in charge of the law of the United States. And Trump just leans in. He says, "Because you'd be in jail," and it was like, holy cow, brilliant, perfect. So back to the Electoral College. I don't have to make the Electoral College case for you. I've done it many times, and apparently Prager University's video on the Electoral College has been seen by 45 million people. I would add a wrinkle to the strategy about the Electoral College, though. We should stop referring to it as the Electoral College, because when you hear criticisms of the Electoral College, you hear people saying, well, it was invented so that the delegates, couldn't get to Washington, and it took a while for people, took 2 weeks, 3 weeks for people to get their votes in because of the slowness of the mail, and therefore it's completely obsolete, and so on and so on and so on. And so in order to get rid of the criticism of the Electoral College and the idea that individuals have to get in a buggy and go to Washington to vote, I think it'd be better to reposition this argument by saying that the president is elected by the states and not by the general population. He's elected by the people of each state. But this is how our government works and why we're so successful. If you're in favor of banning the Electoral College, then you should be in favor of living under the rules that the people of Selma, Alabama impose upon you if they have a majority. You have to understand that the whole reason America is so successful is that it's actually, it's not really 50 different countries, but it's 7 or 8, right? I've made this case 100 times. There's a New England, you've got New England Yankees, and you've got the Deep South. You've got Florida, which is its own little world. Louisiana is its own culture. The Southwest is a culture. The Northwest is a culture. Californians their own little hippy-dippy culture. The Midwest is a group of people that are very similar, and so on. And you have to appeal to all of these people. If you don't have the Electoral College, if you don't have states electing the president, then the president simply campaigns in New York and Los Angeles and San Francisco, Atlanta, Chicago, Miami, and 2 or 3 other places, and all you ever get is a president and a Congress and a country that appeals to urban people. They talk about, well, he won the popular vote. Yes, it's absolutely true. She did, rather. But if you look at the country, and you look at the country by how it voted by county, you realize that the entire country is blood red, with exception of a thin stripe down each coast, a little bit down in Florida, and a little bit around Chicago. And I think somebody did a map I saw recently where they took the red out and just left it gray. And they said, if you wanted to tell the American people that they were going to be governed by the people just in these blue areas, these little blue dots, then you realize how absurd this is. It is what it is, and it's worked very well, and we need to stay in this fight. And by the way, I don't believe Barbara Boxer can introduce legislation to change the Electoral College. Surely that must require a constitutional amendment. Somebody who knows more about this than I do would let me know, but I mean, it's a constitutional issue. It's in the Constitution. This is how we elect presidents in this country, as designed by the Constitution, and you can't just say, we're going to pass a bill to abolish it. I think that needs a constitutional amendment, and good luck with that, given how badly Obama has destroyed the Democratic Party all across the board. They've lost more than 1,000 seats in state houses since he's been elected. We're blowing him away. Obama is leaving. I hope he's worth the price, because he's taken the Democratic Party into the toilet. By the way, I remember in the days leading up to the election, it's going to be, what are we going to do when we look at the wreckage of the Republican Party after this election? And there was never, and I said I was prepared for Trump to win 50 states or no states, but there was never a world where I foresaw that it was going to be the destruction of the Democratic Party and that the Republicans would come out with a win like this. I just, beyond my imagination, and still don't realize how much of an opportunity we have, but we're gonna move on it. Okay, let's get going here, a couple more, and then we'll call it a night.